minute and calm down. Okay, I've got my other bottom part of my ear made. Got both the ears looking good. Now we're going to do the fun part. We're going to set the eyes. Going to raise my stand up a little bit. A little too tall. Normal guy's height, not Chuck height. And open a pair of 28mm gear eyes. Myself a little bit smaller than a ping pong ball of clay. Set just a little thin layer of clay in each eye socket to help hold my eye. Now when I go to set my eyes, I'm right side dominant, so I always start on my left side. Always start with your weak side. It's always easier to match your strong side to your weak side instead of trying to match your weak side to your strong side. Now I just set this in here right now. Now we gotta get a light and level our irises. Clay's a little bit wetter than I like it. I like to use a nice dark eye. The darker the eye, the more alive the animal looks. Probably can't see it on the camera, but there is an iris in this eye. There you go. And I set them with a little slight downward tilt. So when it's on the wall, the deer's looking at you. I work side to side to maintain symmetry. I'm going to do my lower lids first. Roll out what I call fat eighth of an inch clay. It's about an eighth of an inch. Roll it to a slight point on the front. I'm going to do this side real quick and come over and explain what I'm doing on the other side. And make the lower eyelid. I'm going to start in the front corner. Just set it in. I'm going to break it off here at the back corner. You can see Mike sculpted in the back of the where the eyelid attaches the upper lid from the lower lid. It's already in there for you. Now the upper lid, I make it a fat quarter, but again tapered in the front. Let's set this side, come around, do the other side. Now when I set this on, I'm setting this on the glass. And I'm not going to blend it to the mannequin. That keeps the muscles separate. I also keep a gap between my upper and lower lid, just like it'd be on the skull. Oh, got this side a little squished by accident. Yeah, a little bit. Try not to do that. Now, I'm going to put the rest of my smoothing clay on. And all this clay I'm adding is not to change the mannequin. It's just to smooth out where we've detailed the cape when we got it ready to mount. So, because it gets all choppy, the leather, when we get it thinned out. Put a thin layer on the bottom lip, and that's so we can get a nice smooth lip line. Again, not to change anything. I put a pea shape, about a pea size, on my upper brow too, from where we thinned that out. I put a little bit on my chin where we've really thinned out all that choppiness. I try to center it, keep the same amount on each side, and feather it out. And then I put just a smear on my tear duct. Now, that's all the clay work necessary on Mike's mannequin. Now what I'm going to do is put the hide glue on. But the way I do it, take this out. It would have been smarter to move the deer out first. Choked under pressure. This is the way I like to apply my glue on my skin. And there's a reason for it. Glue up our mannequin. And again, with the glue, you just need really a thin layer to hold your skin in place and to help. The other thing the glue does is help to tax your skin around, move it around. Some guys like to use that real thick glue. You put on like a 1/4 inch thick, you end up adding a whole 1/4 inch all the way around, would add an inch to your deer or whatever it is you're working on. The one thing I did ahead of time is right before I mount my deer, I re-dip the hide in warm water. Just dip it in and pull it out. I call it the magic dip. That rehydrates the skin a little bit from how it might have got dried out while you were working on it. We put our skin on this way too. We don't drag it so much in the glue so bad. I told you there's a reason we do this. This is how I stretch it to get it some of the stretch back in. I stretch it till my knuckles touch. That way you know you're going to have a nice relaxed fit and not have too much of a fight. We want to make sure our brisket's aligned. This is an offset, so we're going to make sure that we get the right alignment. We're going to take our upholstery pins, pin this sucker down. So that when we go to put it back the other way, the skin won't fall off. There we go. Now, one thing I do when it's like this, I'm going to tuck my lips right now. Make a little line in the clay. There's a line right here on your nose pad. There's a little split right here in your center of your lip. That's going to tell us where to line everything up, where our center is. So I tuck the upper lip first. I tuck it back just past the canine sheath in that slot we made. Need a little bit more glue here. Now come back and do the same with the lower lip. This is the canine sheath right here. Once I got that, then I align my back corner of my lip. And it's hard to see on the camera here, but there is a pattern on the lip where you know how far to tuck it in. There's the back corner of the lip. We can see it right there. So that's how we know where that is. Your skin will tell you everything you need to know. But the secret is learning how to read the skin, which is why we pay attention when we skin them, because all your best reference is right there, right on the head. Okie doke. That's temporarily tucked. Gonna pop it back off. Put this back in. Starting to take shape already. I'll move my skin back here. Grab my tool that's not here. I don't know where it is. I use a stout rougher to help pull my face skin up to where I need it. We're going to use a couple more of these upholstery pins. One behind and just below the back of the eye, and one right here on the brow. What that's going to do is it's going to keep our skin aligned while we sew it up, so we don't pull everything backwards. Now we can tuck the nostrils in, pin the eyes, and we're about on our way. So, someone's been into my tools. Look how nice this nose tucks. we made the right shape. Bam, just like that, just that easy. Beautiful. Okie doke, that's that. Now, get our eyes pinned in temporarily. Like I said, I use the pinning method. First pin goes front corner of the eye, 1/8 inch in front of the glass. And again, I work side to side. So, thought I had my little pin pusher here. So I'll jump over to the other side, pin at the same spot. Go to the back corner. And I'm pinning right in that little gap that I left between the upper and lower lid. And what this does is going to keep the tension on our skin when we shape our eyelid. Got 2 pins there. Two pins here. Now we can tuck our tear duct in. Get that temporarily in place. Same on the other side. Side's fighting me just a little bit. There we go. Now we're ready to sew it up. So we're going to stop right now and then come back next week, sew it up, and get everything detailed. Thanks for tuning in to Chuck's Tuesday Tips. We'll see you next week.